we're going to start with removing the wrinkles from this lady's face. So just a little bit of digital makeup. First thing you do is go into Canvas and you're going to go ahead and download the wrinkled face, and then you'll file and open from your downloads the photo of the wrinkled face. And then the next thing you'll do is you're going to double click on the layer. So you come over here and you just double click right on the layer itself. And we're going to name this layer 0. Then it says to go to the drop down menu. You'll find right here, drop down menu, and you're going to duplicate the layer. And you'll notice you have 2 layers right here. You won't be able to see any difference when I click the eyes off because they're exactly the same. It'll be important that you pay attention to what layer you're on when you're making adjustments, because if you're on the wrong layer, things don't turn out right. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is select the bottom layer. So again, it's important to be on the correct layer. And you're going to go ahead, I'm actually going to click this eyeball off so you can see what we're looking at the bottom layer. So I click the eyeball off and we're going to go ahead up to Filter, Blur, and we're going to do a Gaussian blur. All right, so on top of that, then I'm just going to go ahead and it looks like it was set at 2 pixels. And hit OK. So you can see we've created a blur on her face. And now if I click on this, we can see the top layer. So now we have 2 layers. One has a blurred edge and one is clear. So that's why it's going to be important when you're doing any editing, you're on the correct layer. So now we're going to go to the top layer and choose the eraser tool and set the eraser tool to soft round and adjust our flow to 30%. So you come over here to your toolbar, find your eraser tool. We're going to change our flow to 30%. And just right here, just make sure we have a nice soft general brush, the soft round brush right here. Okay, and again, this is going to be important that you're on the top layer here. So I'm on the top layer, and as I start erasing, and I'm just going to do right bracket and left bracket to increase the size. And you'll go through and just start erasing in the areas. You'll see it just kind of smooths the edges here. In a minute, I'll just show you what we're changing, and we can change some of the lines right here. And we'll soften those. Younger people's lips too have a little softer edge, so we're going to go ahead and erase over that. And you'll see it kind of just smooths some of those edges out. Play around with the size of your brush. You want to make sure that you don't soften or change anything on her eyes, because you don't want that to blur. It will make it look Photoshopped. So of course you don't want to blur any of her eyelashes. So you'll want to come in with a nice smooth or smaller brush size on your eraser tool to clean some of those up. And I just wanted to show you what we're actually doing. So if I remove this background edge so you can't see it, what I've done is I've just erased, so we're revealing that blurred edge back there. So this is a really simple way to go through and kind of clean up wrinkles and different things. And then you can play around with some of the different stuff, like coloring her eyes in a little bit whiter. Younger people usually have really white eyeballs, so that would bring some youth to her also. And we'll do some playing around with the patch tool a little later when, oops, sorry, that's the dodge tool. As we move on. So this is just a basic fundamental. What I want you to do then is kind of go through, clean it up. Once you finish with this example, it's going to be important that you find another picture of your choosing and do the same process. Save both of them as JPEG, and you're going to submit both of these into Canvas so that I can grade them. So you'll need 2 images saved to the one assignment. All right, happy Photoshopping.